Welcome to Sports Nut Central. We're nuts about sports.
Another edition of Sports Nut Central. Glad you could be with us. Kevin St. Jean joining me, and all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada, in his hotel room right now, is Anthony Romero, a local Welland, Ontario native, of course, who is an MMA looking to go big and has a chance. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But Anthony, thanks for taking the time to come join us tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Anthony, Welland, Ontario, of course, you're a Welland guy. You know the Niagara region. Welland, how would you sum up Welland? I mean, it's a place a lot of people don't know where it is on a map, but you're a Welland guy. How would you describe the Rose City?
It's a beautiful place. It's where I grew up, and a place that I keep close to my heart. A lot of people think otherwise, but yeah, I'm very happy and proud of where I come from, and yeah, I just love it. There's many different characters, but yeah, I love it.
Now, for those of you who don't know who you are, a mixed martial arts, of course, is your thing. Take me back to when you were growing up in Welland and how Welland has played a part of your, development as an MMA fighter.
So it all started when I was around 5 years old. I always say that I started with Taekwondo, but I did a little bit of karate as well. But I don't really count the 2-week trial as training karate, but I did a little bit, and then I did Taekwondo for most of my youth, and around 11 years old I got my black belt, and I wanted to try something else, and there's not really much. Well, in the small town, and there's not much going on. But I watched my first UFC fight. I believe it was Anderson Silva versus Patrick Cote, and I just fell in love with it, and I wanted to find a place where I could do that. And when I saw it, I was like, man, I think I could do something like this. I've done Taekwondo. Little did I know that there was so much more that you need to know in the sport, and Taekwondo wasn't going to be enough. And fortunately, a gym opened up that same year, actually, and I started there, and I just been going on from there, and I've been training in kickboxing, jiu-jitsu. I've been training wrestling was a little bit later on in my career, and I've been training boxing as well at Nappers. Everyone in Welland knows where Nappers is, and yeah, just pretty much putting it all together over the years. And I wasn't able to compete officially in MMA until I was 18. So I was kind of competing individually in just kickboxing or just jiu-jitsu. And I competed for the national team, the Canadian national team for kickboxing. So I went to Brazil, I went to Italy for the World Championships and the Pan American Championships. I got a bronze medal at the Pan Ams, and then I got a gold medal at the Pan Ams for jiu-jitsu. So yeah, I've just been competing over the years, and then once I turned 18, that's when I started my amateur career in MMA.
That kind of leads me right into my next question, because you talked about how you traveled the world. You played, you represented Canada and you represented the national team. How much did you take and how much did you learn from seeing other cultures and other country styles in the sport you love so much?
I learned a lot. A lot of people, they go and compete and they just experience, like they have a lot of fun with the experience, but they don't see the little things. They don't pick apart what's actually going on. They just say, oh, I competed for the national team, but they don't pick up things like maybe if you lose a match, what happened in that match, or what's working for other countries. One thing I noticed is that other countries have a lot of discipline in their sports. For example, Russia is a dominant country in sports and combat sports. And if you look at wrestling and MMA, they're just dominant. One of the number one lightweights in the world comes from Russia, Khabib Nurmagomedov. And I know a lot of people might not know him because it's like the different culture and everything. But yeah, the Russians are super dominant, and that's something that I took away from how disciplined they are in their sport, and that's what I try to do in mine as well.
Talk about before you've turned pro, you were 16, 17, you're itching to turn pro and become, an MMA fighter and get your first fight under your belt. Mentally, how tough was it for you to stay prepared and stay ready before you turn 18, even though you're just a teenager? I mean, you're getting your driver's license, you're doing all these teenage things, but mentally, you have the eye on the prize. But how do you stay so focused and disciplined?
Yeah, that's a good question. As a kid, I'm not, even in high school, I wasn't a very, I guess, I didn't go to a lot of parties, or I wasn't out on the weekends with my friends. So I didn't, like, I love my choice that I made, but I also didn't really have another choice, if that makes sense. Like,
Sure.
like I didn't choose to go out with people when I could have had the opportunity. My choice was to just do martial arts and just stick with that. And because that's the only thing I was doing, it just became part of my life, a big part of my life. And it was just normal for me. Whereas some people, it's normal for them just to go out with friends on the weekend, right? And have some drinks and all that. But yeah, it was just normal for me. And being that was the only way that I could compete, that was my main focus, where if I could do a tournament, jiu-jitsu tournament on the weekend, then I would. If there is a national championships coming for kickboxing, then I would, knowing that there is no real, how would you say, like, there is no loss to it. Like, if I lose a jiu-jitsu match, it's not there on your permanent record, where it is now, obviously, right? Where I'm 7-0 now. But if I were to lose a jiu-jitsu match, it's not put on paper that, oh, you lost this match on this day, and it's going to affect your future. So it's just kind of normal, and it was fun for me just to go and compete at a tournament.
So 7-0 now professionally. Obviously, you've turned 18, 23 now, and you're a professional MMA fighter. Take me back to your first match, the nerves, the excitement, the adrenaline, stepping in, knowing you're 0-0, first one. What was going through your mind before the bell rang?
I think I was thinking a little bit too much of what other people were thinking. Early in my career, I thought about what is this person going to think, or I'm going to go back to school and all these kids are going to make fun of me for losing this fight, or just dumb stuff like that. Whereas now I'm more to myself, and I want to compete to the best of my abilities. And if it goes my way, then I'm happy, and if it doesn't, then that's the way it is. But yeah, that's kind of how it went. But it was a great match. I won split decision, but I think it was more the nerves that were involved in that fight, where everyone was probably expecting me to win, and they wanted me to do it in this like amazing fashion, to go out there first round and knock them out, because I've been training for so long, and I do well in the gym and all that. But once you get in there, it's a different world. A lot of people don't understand. They think it's just going in a cage, but it's like teleporting to a different time, and no one really understands what's going on. It's really hard to describe, but you watch people fight in the cage, and you think it's normal or whatever, but there's so many emotions, and you're not really thinking in there. It's just all reaction. So, but yeah, that's kind of, I kind of sidetracked there, but yeah, that's kind of my my 2 cents from my first fight.
Now, off air, I told you that a friend of mine, and yours, of course, had kind of gave me a little backstory, and said, asked if you could just talk a little bit about your second professional fight, February 17th, 2018, Seneca Niagara Casino and Resort, Sean Superfly Felton.
Brad Noyes loves this question. He loves to talk about this stuff.
There he is. You got it.
Yeah. I know him very well. Yeah. So that was it was a fun fight. Before that, he fought my teammate at the time, good friend of mine, and he knocked him out. And I've always watched his fights. He turned 4-0. I was 1-0 at the time, and I told my coach at the time that I wanted to fight him, and I feel like I could beat him. And a lot of people aren't doing things that they should be to beat him. They're kind of following what everyone else tried and failed at. And there's different ways to beat him. and yeah, he's very I guess emotional, and my opponent, he was very emotional. He was posting videos of how he's gonna beat me, and talking trash and all that. And if people watch the sport, they know it's something that attracts people. People like to hear people talking trash to each other, and it just catches attention. So yeah, he did that. He posted videos. He was even on Twitter, and he was saying he's gonna need a hearse after this fight, and some just stuff like that. I didn't read at the time, but I read it after. And Brad was always very supportive, and I guess fighting back for me on social media, which was cool. A lot of other people too. And yeah, I went out there. I won unanimous decision. I did what I said I was gonna do, and yeah, all the trash talking aside, he's a good person. Like I said, people just do that to catch attention. But we shake hands. We see each other in some other fights. If I have teammates fighting, he's there supporting them. So yeah, he's just a good person. He has a great family, and yeah, I just wish him the best.
Obviously Tuesday night, and for those who don't know, Tuesday, one of the biggest fights of your career for sure, as you step into the ring for Dana White's Contender Series against Mike Breed, and a chance for the UFC, of course. When you got that call and you found out this is an opportunity for you, what was your thoughts and emotions when you knew you had a chance to take on Mike Breeden on Tuesday night in Vegas?
I was super excited. I didn't even know who I was fighting at the time. I just got up and I was so excited. It didn't really matter because I know that anyone that they put in front of me, that this is my dream, this is my goal, and for someone to say that they're going to stop me, it really pumps me up. It really pumps me up. And yeah, when I got that call, I was just so happy because I've been working so many years. We've talked about when I started from like the age of 5. Not that I started with a goal to be a professional mixed martial artist at 5, but that's when my journey started. And now to see that opportunity is there to achieve my dream, or start my dream anyways. It makes me happy, makes me smile. Every day I was going to training, I had that motivation that I can achieve something great. And yeah, I'm just super excited. I can't wait for it. I'm really happy. It's gonna be so cool, the whole process. Who doesn't want to be on TV? And yeah, I'm just really excited for everything.
Mentally and physically, I guess you train for these situations. At what point, of course Tuesday's coming, but at what point do you just let your body kick in and do the work, because you can only train and prepare for so long? When is it time to just focus and just do your thing in the ring?
Yeah, so Saturday was my last training session for my, we call it a camp, even though I'm pretty much training all the time. But when I found out, I believe it was the first week of June, so about, what would you say, like 8 weeks, maybe 8-9 weeks of training camp. So yeah, Saturday was my last day, and then I flew to Vegas yesterday, and I got here at nighttime. So this whole week is pretty much just kind of relaxing, talking to you guys, and yeah, just cutting weight. I was at the UFC Performance Institute here in Vegas this morning, and just kind of moving around, shadow boxing, running on the treadmill, just shedding some weight. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Watching Netflix. I brought my PlayStation, playing video games, and just kind of relaxing, and I guess getting my mind off of it, because I've been thinking about it so much that yeah, I don't want it to like start some smoke out of my ears, because that's all I've been thinking about. So it's kind of relaxing the body, and physically and mentally.
There's a lot of kids and a lot of people that'll look up to you, of course, and you mentioned it, Nappers and Welland. It's a big thing, and it's a big part of the region. A lot of people understand what boxers, MMA artists, and Taekwondo, everyone, they all go through it. But what is one thing that you could, give a piece of advice to someone who wanted to do well as an MMA artist in the sport?
I believe it's very very cliche, and I thought the same thing when I first heard it. Is believe in yourself, and never give up. If you want something, then go get it. And it's true. Like if you want something, you don't wait for it to come to you. You work at whatever you have to do, and you just go do it. If it's fighting, then you work hard every day in the gym, and no matter what the results are in your fight, you just keep pushing and pushing until you get what you want, and that's what I've been doing, and it's here. And like I said, it's funny because I heard that from a fighter. I believe it was like Michael Bisping or something like that, because he had a rough patch in his career and then he ended up winning the title. And he was just saying, like, I never gave up. I kept pushing, even though times got tough. I believed in myself, and he became the world champion. And yeah, like I just keep going and going, and now I'm here. And like I said earlier, whether I win and I don't get a contract, or I do win and get a contract, regardless, it's going to happen. And I'm just very thankful for the opportunity.
Well, and of course, so many faithful, fighters behind you, and a lot of people from the region behind you. People are saying now watch parties are already scheduled for Tuesday night for the big fight. What do you want to say to the people that have supported you and followed you through this journey, since, like you said, since you were 5, and now here you are, 23 years of age, a chance to make it to Dana White and the UFC?
Yeah, well, first of all, I got to thank my parents because they're the ones who brought me to that karate class, did my 2-week trial, and just started from there. So yeah, first of all, thank you to them because they're the ones who pretty much started everything. And yeah, just everyone in Welland. I have people everywhere, people from El Salvador that are going to be watching. So I just can't thank everybody enough for all the support. I can't thank everybody enough for believing in me from the very first match, from the very first time they met me. Just thank you to everybody, sponsors, my manager, just everyone. Really, it means a lot. And I'll be honest, I might bring a tear after my fight when I'm doing an interview and stuff, because it's something that I've been working for a long time. And to see that I can achieve my dream on Tuesday, it's just it's really cool. So yeah, thank you to everybody who's going to be watching. And I know you're all proud already, but I'm going to make you proud on Tuesday.
Well, we won't take too much of your time. We appreciate you coming on, but you know what? We wish you nothing but the best. If it was a little practice interview right there for you for the big night on Tuesday, we appreciate every second of it, but we wish you nothing but the best on Tuesday night in Vegas.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate the time letting me talk about everything that's going on. So thank you.
Oh, for sure. Anytime.
Sports Nut Central. We're nuts about sports.